Hey guys, welcome back to Marketing Mayhem, where we debate the biggest brands and break down what's working and what's not in their marketing strategies. I'm Grace.
I'm Sierra. I'm repping Chipotle, the clean eating kind of fast casual. We're talking real food, strong values, and major digital innovation.
Hi everyone, I'm Sydney and I'm all about Taco Bell. The bold, chaotic, late night legend. It's not just food, it's a lifestyle.
Today's debate: who's crushing the game when it comes to marketing to Gen Z, Chipotle or Taco Bell? We'll look at their brand strategies, promotions, and competitive positioning. Then we'll crown a winner.
Let's start with Chipotle. Founded in 1993, our mission is food with integrity, meaning clean, sustainable ingredients. Their brand screams minimalism, freshness, and control. Their core audience, who might that be? It's Gen Z and millennials, who care about their health, customization, and digital convenience.
Although Chipotle might seem very appealing, Taco Bell has been around since the 60s. They market to the bold, weird, late night snackers, which is a lot of Gen Z audience. They're the king of collabs with Doja Cat, Baja Blast, and they go viral by embracing pop culture and a lot of different chaos. The audience is college kids, gamers, and basically anyone who likes to live on impulse.
So we've got two powerhouses, one clean and conscious, the other fun and fearless. But how do they promote that image?
Well, Chipotle keeps it sleek. Their promos focus on their mobile app, loyalty program, and sustainability goals. They use apps like TikTok, but in a minimal, strategic way. For example, their 2021 burrito campaign was app exclusive. They dropped a limited time of a $5 meal for Halloween only through the app. It boosted their digital orders like crazy.
Taco Bell is the exact opposite. It's all about being everywhere at once. They've done collabs with Doja Cat, Lil Nas X, and even dropped a Taco Bell wedding package in Vegas. They killed it on TikTok with the Mexican pizza, the musical campaign. It was crazy but worked, with over 20 million views in a week.
Traditional versus wild. App-based promos versus viral chaos. Let's break this down using the 4 Ps on the screen.
Product, price, place, and promotion.
When it comes to product, Chipotle uses healthy, simple bowls, whereas Taco Bell uses wild mashups and innovation. With price, Chipotle has more of a premium price, where Taco Bell is more affordable. For place, Chipotle can be placed on the app, delivery, or in store. And Taco Bell, same thing. They have also a drive-through. They're open pretty late, and you could also order through the app online. With their promotion, Chipotle has an app, they have limited time deals, and of course, TikTok. Whereas Taco Bell, they use celebs, humor, pop culture virality.
Do you guys want to get into some examples of product, place, and promotion? I think some examples of product for Chipotle would be, as Grace said, the healthy and simple bowls. Something that would be an example of that is just their different rice bowls, which aren't there isn't a variety, but people will go because they like maybe to get the same thing. But Taco Bell has they have new flavors a lot of the time. They'll have for example, the drinks or the different crazy wraps that they have. But Sierra, do you want to maybe give some examples on price?
Oh yeah, so the pricing really differentiates the difference between Chipotle versus Taco Bell. Where like Grace was saying, how Chipotle is more of like a premium, more of like a luxury brand, something like you might go to like Seymour in like LA, California. That's where they kind of originated, and that's where they're focusing for their target market. Where like Taco Bell is more focused for the average day person, like someone who really just wants to go get a quick bite. So it's very similar to Chipotle, but they just have their different ideals of who they want to have for their buyers and who they want their market to be.
Yeah.
So that's where the price kind of differentiates between them. Where like Taco Bell has a lot more deals, has a lot more kind of promotions going on in that sense to draw in more customers and get more of a quantity versus more of a minimal but a higher price product.
Right, absolutely.
And I think Chipotle is more customizable,
Yes.
but they only have a select amount of ingredients that you could use when customizing your bowl or your wrap, whereas Taco Bell, though you can't customize your own taco, they have a lot of different options. Like, I know, like, they have the Doritos taco.
The Gordita Crunch.
Yeah, they have a lot of different options.
But like, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like you're saying, like, you can't make your own bowl, you can't make your own quesadilla like you could at Chipotle.
Yeah.
But
Right.
they do have, like, a lot more of it. I would say for place, the biggest thing in the different places is the fact that Chipotle doesn't have a drive-through. So I think the drive-through can either be very appealing to customers or the total opposite, because some customers want to come in and just have a sit-down meal in a nice, clean space, and then some just want to get in and out very quickly.
Yeah, and I think it really depends on the person, but that's kind of what Taco Bell is more all about. They're about, like, quickness and affordability, where Chipotle, you see a lot of the times you'll see people sitting down and eating there.
Yeah. And even, like, going back to Taco Bell, because they have a drive-through, that might appeal to some people who have, like, disability issues or
Right.
something like
Yep.
that, where they can't always go inside of a restaurant to go get
Yeah.
their own food. So that can be something that appeals to a lot more customers rather than a Chipotle, where it's that sort of a la carte, picking out what you want to eat and then eating it there, and, like, just enjoying your meal at the restaurant itself, or rather than bringing it home and just getting a quick meal.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let's get into the competitive positioning and SWOT analysis. So, Sierra, would you like to start off with Chipotle?
Okay, so Chipotle differentiates through transparency and values. Their edge is the trust, like the Gen Z, and how they like to know where the food comes from. And taking a look through the SWOT analysis, through strength, weakness, opportunities, and a threat. One of their strengths is the clean brand image. They like to keep and maintain their logo, their ideal, but one of the weaknesses that they do have, because they focus so much on that image and having it so put together, it does come at more of a cost. So it is on the higher end compared to the Taco Bell. A lot of opportunities that they do have as a business is that they have opportunity to expand. They have a plant-based menu, which is very different
I didn't know that.
compared to Taco Bell. Yeah, so it's something like of a different target market, someone who might be a vegetarian or who can't eat everything that someone else might
Yeah,
have.
like allergies and everything.
Yeah, allergies, if they have different dietary needs. Another threat that they have is that it is a smaller, build-your-own kind of chain like Cava, which is one of the restaurants, like I always go to
Right.
Cava.
Yeah.
It's super popular, like kind of where we are. They're very similar with the same kind of style of the a la carte. But those are some of like the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats through a SWOT analysis.
Okay, perfect.
You
I
wanna
thought that was
take
great.
us?
Absolutely. I could take over with my SWOT analysis. I think that Taco Bell has a lot of strengths, but they do have some weaknesses. So to start off with their strengths, they have a lot of great brand loyalty, and they even have like awards programs. They have awards programs that help draw customers in. So it's kind of the idea of, if you buy a certain amount, you'll get a certain amount of money off, or you might get a free snack with your meal, or a free drink. So that really helps draw people in. And their prices also are a strength, because they do a really good job of keeping low prices.
Keeping
and
affordable.
Absolutely. And it keeps definitely customers coming in to get a quick meal that is filling but also very cheap. The weakness is the health perception, because a lot of people won't ever go to Taco Bell if you have a lot of dietary needs. Like, for example, if you have a lot of restrictions and you can't have gluten or you can't have dairy, Taco Bell isn't really going to be your choice for you.
Even like just eating clean, that's a big thing right now. That's a lot of people want to have just clean ingredients, you know, no seed oils.
Like whole foods.
Whole foods.
And that's definitely not their target market for sure.
But that's what you get for fast food most of the time, pretty much. But
Yeah, agreed. And so an opportunity they could take with that is kind of they would kind of have to shift a little bit their brand image and include more vegetarian, vegan options, maybe gluten-free, maybe
So
some
expand their
dairy-free.
menu.
Yes, absolutely. Or maybe not even
Yeah.
expand, but maybe take out some things that don't work, that are like super bad for you,
Yeah.
and maybe adding in like better
Like,
options.
introduce like substitutes.
Mhm,
And
Yeah,
stuff.
substitutes for
And
sure.
I feel like really focusing on promoting that, because a lot of people, if they did
Yeah.
take that route and they really focus on it, they can get a whole different clientele into their
Mhm.
business and getting them in the door, and then maybe trying new stuff like trying a drink
Yeah,
or something.
Right.
So they could really expand with going that route too.
definitely. And I think their biggest threat is just like the negativity that comes with the Taco Bell name, which is kind of what I talked about before. Just that they seem to be very bad for you, not good for your health, and obviously there's a lot of research coming out on what things are good for you, what diets you should do, and Taco Bell doesn't really fit into them. I think another threat obviously is Chipotle, because they're kind of similar in the taco name. But yeah.
So both are dominating, but in different lanes. So what should they do next?
Well, I think Chipotle should learn and go a little bit more into the sustainability, and they can kind of tell a story through their social media, and their brand has a strong push towards their emotion. So I think that would be something that can really help be more of like an exposure and get more people to realize what they're doing to help the planet. And that's a lot of that's a very important thing to a lot of people, for having that environmental connection with the world, and not just having like some kind of fast food place that's gonna hurt and keep deteriorating our environment too.
So being more like relatable towards
Yeah.
Gen Z, and like the motives that we have as a generation and our goals and everything.
Yeah, because it's really interesting, because even some people, they won't go to a restaurant because of their environmental impact, which I think is very interesting, about how they might feel so negatively towards something and will be so passionate about that idea of being environmentally conscious,
Right.
where they won't go to some place that they love to go eat. So that's another very interesting thing that I think Chipotle can kind of step their foot in the door and take a look into that route too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a great pitch, and I think for Taco Bell, something they should do is maybe getting on social media more, and make different posts about, tied to the new items that we kind of talked about before, just promoting a more healthy lifestyle and as a part of their menu.
What kind of like posts would they do?
I
do you
would think I think a great idea would maybe be getting an influencer in their post that it is like, maybe they're a gym rat, or
Yeah.
they promote super healthy eating, and then seeing them on Taco Bell with the new items would be super helpful
Yeah.
for getting business.
Definitely.
Like, even when I'm scrolling through TikTok, like, I always see brands commenting on like other people's TikTok, it could be random stuff. And so I think that's another way, like, either Chipotle or Taco Bell can also interact with our generation, because Gen Z is so focused on social media. So I
Right.
think
Yeah.
even just being active online is gonna become one of the 7 touch points to a customer, where they're gonna want to start to buy more Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea too.
Yeah, I think a great example of that actually is the way Cheez-Its marketed to Gen Z, because they got everyone from Love Island, or they got
Right,
the Cornell
yeah.
Cheez-Its, and they did such a great job like marketing that, because
Yeah.
people, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I watched that season and
Me
it was
too.
great. It was
I
all
think
over
we
social
all
media.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Something really familiar to all of
Yeah.
most of Gen Z.
Yeah, so I think if Chipotle and Taco Bell took that kind of same approach,
Yeah.
it would work so well.
Yeah, and honestly, like, either one, it doesn't even have to be like to a whole Netflix show, but even just making new like social media challenges, like TikTok challenges, targeted to a certain item on their menu, or maybe letting their creators, like a pretty popular creator, design their own menu item for a week and see how that does, because that's really what drives people in, because then it turns into this, oh, come with me to try blah blah blah's new menu at Taco Bell or at Chipotle and rate it.
Yeah, or even like how the Super Bowl with Poppy, this new soda
Right.
Yeah,
brand. They
with
had
Alex
Alex
Earl,
Earl do
yeah.
a little cameo,
Definitely.
and that created so much buzz through all types of social media, through Instagram, TikTok, all of them, where they were all campaigning and it was all promotion. And it was so interesting to see how that one little cameo like blew up the internet.
Right.
So even like something simple like that, just having her make an appearance, and then I believe she did ended up doing a combo soda with them too.
Yeah.
But
I think so. I think you're right on
yeah, something like that can really
that.
get your name out there.
Absolutely.
And I know Alex Earl did another collaboration with an energy drink.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was really popular for a while, I know. If you don't know, Alex Earl is a really famous, with our generation, TikToker.
She went
So-
to the University of
Yep.
Miami.
And that's literally how she got
Yeah.
famous, is just partying in Miami, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
just going to school, and then you next day you become this crazy big influencer where
Yeah.
you're now going to all
Right.
these events.
And
But
such a big face for so many different companies now, even in like small brand campaigns.
yeah.
All right. Two brands, two totally different vibes, both crushing it in their own way. So now it's your turn to decide. Who's really winning Gen Z? Chipotle or Taco Bell?
Let's see.
thank you all for watching. We'll
Thank
see you
you,
next
guys.
time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Perfect.